Let's hear from Rappler correspondent Michelle Abad, who covers the scene outside the ICC during hearing days. She filed this report.
Good morning. It's a cloudy and windy morning here in The Hague as we start day 4, the last day of the confirmation of charges hearing of former President Rodrigo Duterte over alleged crimes against humanity at the International Criminal Court. This morning, as usual, there's a steady presence of supporters of the former president gathering out here. As you can see behind me, there are signs that they have been using since the beginning of this week that have their usual calls of calling for the release of the former president, as well as their claims over the ICC allegedly assuming wrong jurisdiction or wrongly assuming jurisdiction over this case, and that the case, if it must be done instead in the Philippines instead of what they call a quote-unquote foreign court. It's a light mood as usual. Usually out here they have their gathering where they bring a lot of food, some drinks that they usually share with the community. And as of yesterday, they have expressed confidence in the performance of lead defense counsel attorney Nicholas Kaufman in defending the defense of the former president. They expressed agreement with the views of the Duterte lawyers that were here, or the lawyers that were brought here or sent here by the Duterte family, that the defense was successfully able to debunk or refute the allegations presented by the prosecution as well as the victims on the previous day or on Tuesday. So, and apart from the merits that they express confidence in, they've also reiterated again and again their views on the jurisdiction issue, that they believe that if the former president must be tried for alleged crimes against humanity or alleged murder, then he should be instead tried in Philippine courts, as they assert that the Philippine judiciary and the Philippine justice system is functioning well. For now, there have been some tensions with the victims and the supporters, or rather the critics of Duterte. Although there have not been any outright tensions, or rather outright forms of violence that have occurred here, there have been tensions. For example, yesterday, as we had a mini press conference with the victims after the hearing, there was a visible barricade that was formed from the supporters of these critics, and preventing, for example, some of the pro-Duterte vloggers from coming near. But yes, so far no outright violence has occurred. There is always a steady presence of security here, not just for ICC security, but the police presence as well. Although it's not heightened, it's nothing too big, as we usually might see in the Philippines when there are opposing groups that are in the same area. But as for the merits, both groups are quite satisfied with the way that the proceedings are going so far. Since the Duterte supporters are satisfied with the performance of attorney Nicholas Kaufman, the victims and the critics of Duterte are also still satisfied that the case still stands. They still believe that the defense did not present any evidence that would absolve Duterte from his alleged crimes. And let's see what happens today as they go through the concluding statements of both sides. But perhaps one thing that the two groups, both pro and anti, is the actual proceeding to trial. While the pro Duterte supporters would say that they think that it might proceed to trial, it's more because of the fact that they believe that the ICC was biased from the beginning. So for the victims, they believe that the trial will proceed because the evidence is strong. But for the Duterte supporters, it's because they think that it was biased from the beginning. So these are the types of views that we're seeing here, that even if the Duterte supporters are hopeful it will not push the trial, they probably will not be surprised if such an outcome would happen, that the trial will proceed. So this is the latest from outside the ICC. This is Michelle Abad, Rappler correspondent.
Thank you, Michelle. We look forward to your live reports later.